Okay, welcome. And I've started streaming officially. So I want to ask, is there anyone here who is conversant with Microsoft Excel? You've used it before, either for a class project, for anything. You've used it before. Are you conversant with the environment? Have you even opened it before? Let's start from there. If you're in the front stage, please unmute and answer me. Yes, the class is being recorded, Peter, and I will send the link later on. The minute the class ends, I'll send the link to you. All right. So if you're in the front end with me, you can unmute yourself and answer me. If you're at the back end, you can just send a private chat and I would read it. All right. So has any one of you used Excel before?
Yes, I've used it
I
quite a
can see
number
that
of times.
network
I
keeps
only
taking
use
some
it
of
to
you
edit.
out before. Oh, that's good. That's good. But it doesn't matter, okay, whether you've used it before, whether you've not even opened the environment before, it doesn't matter. That's why I call this the basics. I'm going to just start it again, okay? I'm going to start from the very beginning again. Welcome, Claire. And well, let us start. Now, Excel is a very amazing application. It's a very amazing application that is used across different fields. It doesn't matter what you work at or what you're doing, you can use Excel. It doesn't matter where you're working at, you can use Excel for diverse purpose and diverse reasons. And I remember when I took the project management class, I made mention of the fact that I am upskilling to data science, data analysis in the hospitals, in school, even personally for yourself. You can use Excel for some little scheduling or even for some generic calculations. You can use Excel for a lot of things. I will be sharing my screen now. Okay, it's fine. And Peter, like I said, it doesn't matter whether you've used it before or not. If you're joining in with a system, please make sure your system is open and your Excel is on. And if you're using your phone, yeah, I think you can do some practice on your phone, but ideally a system. Irrespective, we'll move on. And as you very well know, there are different versions of Excel. I think we have the 2003. That's the earliest version I can remember. We have 2010. We have 2016, 2019. Most recently, we have the Microsoft 365. That's the most current version, most updated version. If you can, I encourage you to acquire that one. It's the one I'm using, just in case my screen environment looks different from yours. It's all good. So I need you to let me know if you can see my screen. Someone should unmute and tell me if they can see my screen because I'm sharing.
Yes, I can see.
Oh, you can. Okay, that's great. So Excel, like every someone that's connected twice here. You connected with a phone and your system. I'm getting a double wave feedback. Okay, let's go back. It's better now. So to launch Excel, just like you launch your Microsoft Word, please, am I echoing?
Yes, you are.
So I'm wondering who is on two devices. I'm getting this. Hmm. Hello? Okay, it's not echoing right now. Let me go back here. It's better now. Okay, so to launch Excel is just same way you launch your PowerPoint and your Microsoft Word. They even have a lot of similarities between them. Just open and click on a blank workbook. Not now, I don't need this. I'll review them later. Okay, so Microsoft Word, when you open it, you just see a blank canvas, where you type in. It's used for typing of maybe text, letters, documents, textbooks, notebooks, and things like that. Excel has rows and columns. It's made of different sheets. As you can see here, at this part, we have sheet one. I can add sheet two, three, and so on and so forth. You can add so many sheets in your workbook. One file of Excel is referred to as a workbook. If you look on my screen at this top here, I'm hovering my mouse over it. You see it's written there, book one. That's the default name because I have not saved this document, so it's just saying it as book one. It's a workbook. All right, and Excel just has all these amazing rows and columns, these cells, and it's why a lot of people think that it's a scary application. It's not scary, it's just interesting. Now, all the alphabet parts, these A, B, C, are called columns. So this is column A, column B, C, D, E, F, and so on. Excel is so amazing that it has, when you get to Z, it doesn't end there. You can even exceed it. You see, when you get to Z, then you start from A to AZ, and then you get BA to BZ. And by the time you finish that, you start getting BB, and it's just fantastic. Then on this other side where you have the numbers, we call this the row. So this is row one, row two, row three, row four. And if I'm not mistaken, Excel can hold up to like a million, I think. Yeah, a million rows. And yeah, you might think that is a lot. Like that's actually a lot. It is not enough. When you think it's a lot, it's not even enough, which is why for data analysis and data science and things where you have to analyze large amounts of data, Excel is not your best bet because it's going to basically crash. Let me use the word crash. However, Excel is every analyst basic foundation. If you know how to use Excel very well, you would know how to use any other application that has to do with analysis or spreadsheets and so many other things because Excel has a lot of functions in it. There's so much calculations you can do in it. And don't be wary or scared in case you don't like maths. Don't worry, Excel has a way of making it very simple and interesting for you. Um, you can use charts and do so many other things, so many other fantastic things that we can do, and we will explore as much as we can today. I will not be able to, like show you everything in Excel, but I will do my best to make sure that after today you can say, oh, yes, I can use Excel. I can do maybe a little bit more than use Excel for the person that said she's been using Excel for a while now. Okay, let's meet our tabs. First, we have the file tab, like we have in other applications that has your home, your new, open, get add-ins, info, save as, print, the usual shenanigans. And we have the home tab. Here you have your copy, your paste. This is called a paint brush or a format painter. We are going to use it, and then you see how fantastic it is. We have the cuts, we have the font type, size, your bold, italic, underline. This is for fill color. This is for text color. You want your text to increase in font size or decrease. These are basic alignments. We have something called merge, wrap. Now, it may look like it's a lot to take in, but don't worry. When we use it for something, it will stick better, and that's what I'm going to do. But I just want to introduce you to them first. So, for Peter and any other person like Peter that has never used Excel before, don't worry. Don't even cram it. That's the amazing thing about Excel. You don't have to cram it, all right? So, conditional formatting will come to this format table, cell styles, insert, delete. The basic, most important, usual, everyday things you do in Excel, you work more with your home tab. Then we have insert, and just like we have in the Microsoft Word document and even PowerPoint, this is where you bring things in. Like you can add other things that are not in the home tab, like your pivot table. We even have recommended pivot table. We have normal tables, illustration. Under the illustration, you have pictures, shapes, icons, 3D models. You even have recommended charts. Like I told you before, charts. You understand that when you have some data to work with, we are going to work with data that concerns us today. And you see how you can make someone who has no knowledge of Excel, who has no knowledge of anything that has to do with tech, understand exactly the message you're trying to pass to them. Then we have the page layout, how you want your page to be like, your margins. We also have this in Microsoft Word, your margins, your rotation, page size, print area. You want to add breaks, you want to change background, you want to print tiles. So many other things that has to do with how this environment looks and how it is arranged. Everything you find on the page layout. Then we have formulas. Remember, I told you that in Excel we have different functions, we have formulas. Excel just basically, stacked some of them here for you. However, you may find yourself not even coming here at all because you just get them at the tip of your hand. Then we have data in Excel, and so many things on this data. This part, however, data types is always very interesting to me. These are like added data type. Do you know that if you have a collection of country codes, Excel can actually give you the countries, the names of those countries simply by taking those country codes. It will search for them all over the world and return it for you. Right now, some of you, I like to think, because I don't like underrating anyone, some of you might have stocks in other places, or maybe you are a stock trader and you basically want to know which company's stock has gone up or which company's stock is coming down and everything. Excel can do that for you. If you have the organization's name of the company, just tell Excel, I want to know about their stocks. You see, it converts cells with company names or ticker symbols to get current stock information like their different cells with currencies. They're separated by, no, don't worry, there's a lot of things here. I just want you to see that they are here and know that what basically they are used for. And review, you have issues with spelling. Excel can help you check your spelling. If you don't know how to spell a word, Excel can help you. Just like you have in Microsoft Word also. You have your thesaurus. Thesaurus, you know that, have you ever been in a binder where you are looking for a particular word and that word is not coming to you? However, you know the synonym or maybe the antonym of that word. Now, synonyms are words that are similar in meaning. Antonyms are like opposites, right? You know the word, but you don't know, like you have an idea of the word, but you cannot just seem to come up with that exact phrase or that exact word that you want to use. Let me pick an example. I'm trying to find something simple. Mm, Can anyone help me here? I'm thinking for words that may have other meanings that we use usually in our daily life. Okay, say I'm trying to explain to someone what someone was doing at a music concert. I'm like, oh, this person was singing, but the person wasn't really singing. Do you know what it means? Like when the person is kind of singing but not singing because it doesn't rhyme, and the person keeps saying words like praises, like maybe you are praising someone. How do the Yoruba do it? Maybe in a song, or let's talk about the Igbos. I think the Igbos do that very well. In a song, you see someone start talking about the praises of that person, start singing the praises of a particular person, start talking about the goodness of a person. There's a word for it. You know, it is used in music, but it's not music. Actually, you are in that place and someone just comes and say, do you mean chant? Like chant? And you're like, oh yes, that's the word. Like when you're chanting someone's praise. Now that is a synonym for the word of singing somebody's praise. So, and a thesaurus practically helps with that. Let's see if I have space to add more people. Okay, I've added just one person, but the others can hear me. It's fine. So Thesaurus does that for you. Then you have workbook statistics, accessibility, translates. Now this translates into a different language. Assuming you want to show a document or present something on Excel to people in China, to the Chinese, to the French, and believe me, you're not a linguist, so maybe you're not fluent. Probably you are fluent if you're using an app like say Duolingo, which I use. It's helping my French get better. So I can decide to translate what I have on my workbook into another language by using this feature. You can even add comments and you can protect your sheet. You want to send it to someone, but you do not want the person to be able to edit what you're sending. Hold on, I'm just going to put this off and talk to you directly. You want to send your sheet to someone, but you don't want the person to edit it. For plagiarism purposes, you don't want the person to plagiarize your work, or so to speak. You can protect a sheet, you can protect your workbook. Now, remember, I told you that a sheet is just one of these environments. This is a sheet. These are two sheets, and these are three sheets. But if I save these three sheets in this document, it becomes a workbook. So is it that I have five sheets and I want to protect only one particular one? If that's the case, I use the protect sheet. But if I want to protect the entire document, I use the workbook. Okay, then I allow edit ranges. For this one, it says that I want you to be able to edit or work on the sheet, but I don't want you to work everywhere. Particular areas I do not want you to be able to edit. You can do that here. Then we have view. Now under the view, I decide what I want to see. If, for example, I don't want all these grid lines, I just click it out here. And if I do that, notice what has happened. It looks like a Microsoft Word. There's no lines, no cells, nothing. And I bring it back. And we also have the formula bar here. If I don't want it, I take it out. I can put it. I don't want headings, I take them out and I can put it. Okay, so and so on and so forth. There's automate developer, power pivot, and so on. So let's go back to home and practically just start getting acquainted with Excel. First, I told you that the alphabets name columns. This is column A, column B, and so on. And I told you that these numbers name rows. This is row 3. However, now that I've clicked on this, I am going to change it. I want to pick a color that is very dark. Good. Make it bold. You see this dark, I don't want to call the name. If I call it, I have told you practically. This dark patch here has a name. It is called in Excel. It is called a cell. A cell, CELL, like cell, prisoner cell. And it is an intervention between a column and a row. In other words, where a column and a row meet. I will change it to a lighter color so I can type on it. Okay, this is fine. And I will make my text bigger, and I think red is coming will come out fine. Looking at my screen, can you tell me what this cell will be called? I'll give you a clue. It is named first with the column and then the row. You call it by the name of the column and the row. So what do you think this cell will be called? If I was going to say this is cell dash, what do you think it will be? You can unmute and tell me, or you can type it in the chat. Okay, I see Peter asking, are these features same for all Excel? All right, so I'm using Excel 365, Peter. You're correct, Toluchi. It is E6. I'm using Excel 365, and I will advise that you upgrade to it. That you upgrade to it. Um, that you upgrade to it. If you're using the what's that one called 2003, practically right now, a lot of things have been improved, and the functionality of 2003 is limited, really, really limited. So yes, my screen might look different from yours, except maybe you're using from 2016, 2019, 2021. Those are the closest version that might look like mine. However, it doesn't matter. The basic things, everything we're going to do today, you should be able to do them on your Excel. I have uninstalled my 2003 or 2010. Otherwise, I would have used it to show you how that looks like. Maybe it looks like yours. So yes, Soluchi, you're correct. Um, the cell is E6. E6. That's the cell. E6. So you name with this first, and then you name your row. So this will be F2, G2, and you're thinking, why do I need to know this? You need to know it because it's very important when you're working. You need to identify where items are, where your data sets, where your records are kept. You need to know them. And don't worry, like I said, don't bother yourself cramming it. It's going to come naturally to you. At the end of this class, all these parts will even be like baby work. All right. I'm just taking it so slow for those that have never used Excel before. Okay. So the intersection between a row and a column in Excel is known as a sheet, as a cell, sorry. The intersection between a column and a row in Excel is known as a cell. So this is cell E6. I'll take it out and take out that color. So I'll quickly show us some of the functionalities of all this here, which will be very fast because if you've used Microsoft Word at all before, some of them becomes easy. Okay. All right. So copy paste does the same thing that it does everywhere. You copy, you simply replicating, and then you paste. There's something else I want to show. Say I typed my name here, and I need names. I need to look at you and get names. There's Peter, there's Komachi, and there's Benedita. Peter. Okay. All right. So on my name, I want to do something fancy. I want to add a lot of things to it. I want to make this environment blue, and I want to make my text maybe like this. It's not showing. I want a color maybe like this. This is fine. I want my text to be bold. I want the font to be like 20. I want the I want to change this to something like this. All right. First off, you would notice that part of the Regina is on this cell. It looks like it's on G4. It's not actually on G4. Everything in this Regina is contained in F4. The reason it looks like it's in G4 is because there's nothing actually written in G4, so it just occupies that space. The minute I type anything like this, you can no longer see it. It is hidden. Which is why in Excel we have two options that helps us, put a lot of our write-ups together, especially when we need more than one cell for them. Two ways we can do this is to wrap them up so they stay together, or to merge those two cells. Let me go back. And take this one out. Right, so my Regina is back there. If I want this F and G cell to contain the Regina the way I want it to contain Regina, what I will do is to merge. Now, you see under merge, we have different options for merge. I have merge and center, merge and across, merge cells. In fact, I'm going to make it like a lot of write-ups so you see the difference between them. Excel basics with Regina. On Saturday, changed my keyboard yesterday. I'm beginning to learn where it's crazy. On Saturday, what's today's date again? I can't remember. Today should be 9th of December 2023. Now I'm just typing it. See, remember I told you all this, even though it looks like it's stretched from D to J, it's all written in D. If I come here and type, even if it's just this, it has taken it out. You can no longer see it. So what I can do is this. Oh, let's start with the wrap. I take this and I'm like, I want you to wrap this for me, and I click on this. The minute I ask you to wrap it, because it is in that same cell, Excel will make the cell stretch itself to accommodate my entire write-up. And see what it has done. It has stretched the row 1. It has stretched it and made it longer to make sure it accommodates. Excel is not going to put D, E, F, G, H together for it to stretch like the way it was stretching before. No, it's not going to do that. Instead, it's going to make that cell longer so it can accommodate your entire text. That's what wrap does. Now, let's go back. This time, I do not want it to get longer like that. I want it to be exactly the way it is now. So what I can do is maybe select everything here and say, okay, merge. I just merged it. Now, notice my merge. My merge, it merged it and brought it down, and that's because it took merge and center by default, right? If I say merge cells, just merge the cells. It's because there are different forms of merging. Let me say merge across. If I merged across, see what happened? It pulled it towards your left hand side. I'm going to go back again. I want you to just merge it. It merged it and it brought it down to the left hand side. If you are merging, however, the most popular option for merge is merge and center. The reason is because assuming for instance, I did not select like this. I just want to merge everything here, and I do this and I do merge. It brought it here, right? Now let me say merge and center. Okay. Merge and center. Now you can no longer see it. It looks like my text is gone. It hasn't actually gone anywhere. What it has done is that, remember I selected the entire row 1, and row 1 is a lot. Row 1 has A1, B1, C1, D1 up to Z1, and then you have AA1, AB1 up to BB1, BC1 up to CD1. So it has gone to place that text that I wrote into the middle of all this. But believe me, I will never get to use these entire columns. I will never get to find my text. So at that point in time, merge and center is not the best option for me. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that even though we have different merge options, depending on what you are doing, you decide how you want to merge. I only used merge and center the first time simply because I already selected a certain range of column. I selected from A to Q. Example, in this case, I would select merge and center because I know where my center is going to be. And after selecting merge and center like this, I'll say, oh, I want it to be in the middle. You see the different options. In Excel, unlike Microsoft Word, we have 6 alignment structures. We have the normal left, right, center, and then we have the placement. Oh, I want it to align to the top, to be close to the top of the line or top of the cell. I want it to be in the exact middle, centralized, and I want it to be in the bottom. You can see this is middle, but it is bottom middle. Now I want it middle, so I just select this, and this is fine. Here I can do whatever I want with it. That's fine. Okay, back to Regina. Let me do same for Regina. Let me merge the cells. All right. Now, if you remember vividly, when I was editing this Regina, I changed the font name. I changed the font size. I changed font color. I changed the cell color. I made it, let me select it again to be sure. I even made it bold. So I'm going to count all the things I did. I made it bold. I changed font text. I changed font size. I changed font color. And I changed cell color. I want to do the same thing to Peter, to Omachi, and to Benedita. I want to do the exact same thing to them. I want this to be applied everywhere here. Ordinarily, all I will do is I'll come here, click on Peter, remember, just click here, make this bold. Maybe, and now I've even forgotten the font size I used, so I have to come back and see it. Oh, it's 20. I come back here, select 20, and then I look for the font I used. Okay, it was Algerian I used, and I've done it. Now, the purpose of Excel, one of the most fantastic thing about Excel is that it makes your work faster. And with what I've just done, it's not fast. So Excel, especially this new version, has introduced something called a format painter. You can see it here. Now, say I want to do same thing to Tomachi and Benedita. I don't have to go through those entire steps. All I have to do is look for Regina or Peter that has the exact thing I want to do. So I click on Regina, right? And I come to format painter here and click on it, this brush symbol. Once I click on it, see how my pointer has changed. It has a plus sign and it has a brush close to it. Then I simply move to Omachi and I click on the cell with Omachi, and voila, it will apply it to Omachi. Everything I did with Regina will be applied there. And this works also with charts in Excel, and it's fantastic. It makes life easy for you. It makes work faster for you. Whatever thing you're doing, just make it quicker. All right, so that's what the format painter does. If you've applied series of styles to a particular cell and you want those same styles to be applied to another cell or another column or another row or the entire data set, all you have to do is I will be moving back and forth, please, because I want to be checking to see if I have comments that I should reply to. Oh, Peter Prosper, you said something. You said, oh, I'm so sorry, Moses. Patience. Please, Prosper, speak. I can hear you. I'll be able to hear you now. We couldn't hear you before because you were at the backstage.
Can I don't know.
I can hear you now, so please speak.
Um, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah,
We
we
all
can
can hear you now.
Okay. I wanted to ask a question, but you've already answered it. Thank you, ma.
Oh, okay, that's Patience, I'm so sorry about your network. It's an issue and I don't know why. But don't worry, I'm practically recording this class, so when I'm done I will send the link. Okay, so let's just go back. I will be checking the chat. I'll be checking the chat. Or someone can volunteer to be checking it for me so that I don't move back and forth. Peter, can you please do that for me? Just at random, check the chat and see if there's any question, then you can unmute and um, read it out to me. Thank you.
Okay, ma.
All right. That way I won't leave my environment. Okay, so that does that. And I don't want all this. All right. And say I have Regina here already, but okay, let's say between Peter and Tomachi, I want one column space between them. Since Peter is in 4, I can click here and just say insert. Where is insert? I don't want to insert that of itself. So that's it. I can insert. Uh, this is doing like this because it is not merged. Okay. So you can keep inserting more rows by right clicking and clicking insert. Same thing for column. You can right click and click insert. You can insert column, you can insert row, you can insert them anywhere. It's just a very simple process. Right click, click insert, and you've gotten it. Okay. Oh yeah, you can also delete. Okay. So let's start right away and work with some things that we can do. Let's say I'm thinking of something that we do in our everyday life. Say let's take weekly expenses. Weekly expenses. So let's make a weekly expense list. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to use you and myself as focal points. I'll take down our names. So let me put it here. Names, gender, um, department, uh, feeding allowance, basically how much you randomly, you don't have to tell me the exact amount, okay? It could be a make believe amount. And transport. Okay, I want to stretch this because I do not want to. Okay. Sorry. And I want a new column. So I'm just going to insert. I want to call this S. I'm going to return this keyboard. Like, I do not even understand this new keyboard they gave to me. Everything is just, oh word. Okay, I think I found it. No, it is not. How in God's name am I going to use this keyboard? I don't even know where. What have these people done to me? How am I going to code with this keyboard? I'm looking for backspace. Let me type. Let me just call you SN. All right. So this is practically going to take numbers, and this will carry our names and our gender. Okay, so let's start. Mr. Peter, tell me names of people you have there. Just unmute and see if you can tell me names. Your name is Peter
Okay,
what?
my name is Imonte Peter.
Imonte. Okay. Next person that you have there. I think
I
saw
have Clara Arimaha.
Claire or Clara?
Claire Arimaha.
Arimaha.
Yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. I'm spelling correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
I have Ikens. Sorry, I have Prosper. I don't think
I understand. So I couldn't pronounce it. Yeah.
Okay. I have Dida Harmony.
Peter Harmony.
No, Dida. Didia Harmony.
Lydia or Didia?
Didia Harmony.
Okay. Didia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's
What about Omachi? There was an Omachi there. What's Omachi's name?
I have Soluchi.
There's Benedicta
I'm just
Lukman.
seeing
There's Soluchi.
Omachi. Yes, I'm just seeing Omachi. I have Soluchi.
Omachi, I'm going to call you Jack. In those days, when they don't know the name of children in the orphanage, you call them Jack. You have Soluchi.
Yes.
Soluchi who? Soluchi great. If your surname is not there, I'm just going to give you any name. Who else do you have there?
I have that. I think that's okay. Moses Patient Asoko.
And there was one other person I saw just now. I can't remember. I have to go back
I
and be
don't,
sure.
Moses.
There's been no. I just want two names. You understand why? Then there's Benedicta Lukman.
Okay.
Benedicta Lukman. Okay, I think this is all. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't think. Let me check back.
I have Patient Asoko.
Oh, I've not added that. I've not added that.
Yes.
So let me add pages. And that's it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, so I'm supposed to put like 1, 2, 3. There was someone here who said she uses Excel, so I'm going to pick her brains and see. Who was that? I think the person spoke up. Who said they've used Excel before? Someone said they had used Excel before. I can't remember the name.
About that, I think it's just you highlight the first cell, then
Ah,
by the sides there is a plus sign. You drag it and
okay,
it aligns
like
it.
this.
Up. Yes, and it gives
But
you
it
the
is
numbers.
it's giving me 1-1.
Eh,
But you are
uh,
onto something actually. You really are onto something. So you see, there's something here. It's called autofill
okay,
options. So I would select and then I would say fill series.
okay,
So you were right. So in case maybe you tried it and it just gave you 1-1-1-1-1. No, don't worry. Tell it to from this part, you say fill series. Okay. And so many other things that it can do for you. All right. So that's a very good one. That's called autofill. That's fantastic. Now I have names and I have gender. In the world we are in today, I don't know if you filled any form recently. When it comes to gender, you would either fill male, female, and then they'll say can't say, don't want to say, other. Because the genders in the world right now, there are more than 10. I don't think anybody even knows how many gender we have in the world right now. There are so many genders, like it's amazing. And you have to give opportunity for these people, or create leverage for them to fill the forms. Otherwise you'll be seen as a non-inclusive person or organization. That's how the world has moved in. That's where the world is in right now. And if you want to succeed out there, if you want to um if you are planning to be at the top, you need to learn to work with this. Okay, which is why in more reserved countries like Nigeria and whatnot, I have noticed it. All we do is male, female, and other. In Nigeria, we don't like stress. We don't want to hear which one have you put or which one did you not put. It's just male, female, other. In fact, some forms will not even give you order. It's either you're male or female. That's what they just put there for you. But um, if it's a big firm, if it's a big establishment, there will be order. Okay. Now they might even allow you write it, but for ease of compilation of data, if you're getting maybe like your if you ever have to do anything like a questionnaire, maybe like in school, you have a project that would see you producing or making a questionnaire, avoid a lot of your questions being open-ended. Open-ended simply means where you tell them to write in, like they have to, or even if they are typing, they have to type in their choice. Instead, make it close-ended. Give them what you want. Let them make their choice from there. Because when you are now analyzing or working with that data, it makes your life way easier. Okay, so let me format this cell and make it bold. Maybe change the color to a darker shade of blue and make this place maybe like yellow. Okay, so that it's very clear in our and it's in our faces. Can even make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so and I do not want to come here assuming I have a million data to enter or something, whatever shall I'm entering, and it's a lot. I don't want to be coming here and typing male, female, order, male, female, order. So there's something in Excel we call um, data validation. Now, data validation allows you to create lists. If you're not using 365 or any of the earliest version, yours might not be like this. I think yours would be, I can't remember, maybe on the data on the own tab, or you see it data validation. I think yours is even easier. You just see it on your screen as data validation. Now, I'm going to do what they call data validation on this column and this basically on these cells, so that all I would do is to click on which particular gender you people belong to. To do that, all I have to do is click or select, because I want to do it on all these cells, so I have to select them. In other words, saying everything here is that's how I want it to be. I'll add one, maybe like two more, or even three more. I'll add 3 more just in case somebody else joins the class and I want to update it. And after that, I'll click on data. Like I mentioned, if you're not using my version or any of the newest version, yours might just be under data, written as data data validation under data. You see it there. And click on this data validation. Now it's already set as allow any value, but I want it to be list. When I select list, it's going to ask me for the source. Now this source means this list you want me to use. Are you going to type it in with your hand, or you have already typed it somewhere? For me, I've typed it somewhere on this and I want to just select it. So I click on this arrow sign. It brings me here. I simply just select these 3 because those are the ones I want to use. I click on the arrow sign. Now the arrow sign is inverted, showing down. Click on it and I just say okay. And that's all. Now when I come here, Peter is a male. Omachi, I don't know. Omachi, are you male, female, or other? I'll put female. What's the worst that can happen? Claire is definitely female. Prosper sounds like
I'm
a
other.
male. Omachi, you are female. Okay, Prosper, you sound like a male. Didia Harmony, I think female. Soluchi, is he a male or a female name?
I'm female. Prosper is female. I don't know why I sound male.
Okay, Patience is female. Benedicta is female. Where are the males? Is it only female I have on this list? I refuse. I'm going back to check there. Okay. I'm going back to my data. It's my data set. I'm going to randomly pick some of you as male and female. As male and whatever. But basically, that's what this one does. So no, let me leave it as female. Let me enter some other name. What was the name of those twins that were in the other class at that time? I'm just going to call them Peter P Square.
I think it's Precious and and someone else. I forgot.
And Paul P Square. So let's do what's no, should have been here. Your series. I said few series. Oh man. Okay, field series, and these are definitely male. I wanted male, so male I have. So now you see how to create lists. That's how you create lists. You simply just do data validation and it makes your collection of the data easy. All right, and department. Please, everyone should type their department there, and Peter will call it for me. Just type your department in the chat. Let me see if I remember some that were there that day.
Okay, let me start with mine.
Okay.
Mine is biomedical technology.
I
or
remembered. What do you call it? BMT?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we have MCB.
MCB. That's microbiology.
Sorry, MCT. MCT, microbiology technology.
MCT, okay.
And we have biochemistry and chemistry technology. Let's say BCT. Yes, BCT.
BCT. Okay.
We have microbiology technology. That's the same MCT.
Okay.
MCT.
So this is it, right?
Yes, I think others
Okay.
are coming.
All right, when they come. But they should come fast because I'm going to do data validation now. Okay, so that's it. Now data validation should be faster this time. I will
Okay, we
select the
still
correct
have PPT, but as just an
PPT.
option. We still, yes, we have PPT.
Okay, is that all? Is there any other one you remember?
Um,
Okay, so let's work with this one. So when you're filling forms and you see things like this done, you just they've been done for you. You just have to select. So I'll select department again, and remember now it should be easier. Go to data tab, look for data validation, change your any value to list. Click here, select where you have it, and just click this and say okay. So Peter, you are BMT. Who is Omachi is what? I'm just gonna be filling until you people tell me the correct one. I don't know who is who. So when you tell me, I will change it. But right now, to be fast, I'm just gonna be picking at random.
Okay, I'm in MCT.
Who is talking?
Prosper.
Okay, Claire, you're an MC.
Claire is also in MCT. Komachi is also in MCT. I think those are the ones I know.
So who is talking? Oh, Prosper is in MC.
Yes. Komachi is also in MCT.
Okay.
Those are the ones I know.
All right. So I can just bring every other person around. No, I don't think we have any PPT here. All right. So randomly, you see, it's beginning to look like a data set. Just little by little, it's beginning to look like a data set. And this is so small. And maybe I should move it this way. Okay. Oh no, I don't want anything like that. All right. So and feeding allowance. Now, for those that are still not used Excel before, let me show you something. When I click on this, all these numbers, please notice what is showing here. This is called our format or data type bar. All these are showing as general, and I don't really mind because there's no way I don't want to calculate with this, so it can just be general. Names are shown as general also, which general simply means it can be text, it can be mixture of anything there is just there. This same fine. However, I want to go to feeding allowance, and I want feeding allowance to show money, same as transport. So I might as well just select this. Hold on, let me add rows. Insert. That was too close for comfort. Insert and insert one more. All right, so I want all this to be money and not. So I come here and change it to currency. When I change it to currency, it will now show as money. For example, if I type, if I type this, see it's showing as, but in Nigeria we're not using dollar, and Excel allows for currencies of different countries in the world. So I'm going to format this as naira, not dollar. So what I do, instead of just coming here and selecting currency, you see there's more formats, but basically that's like a lot of work. Just right click on your mouse and you see format cells. Again, I go right click on your mouse, you see format cells. Click on the format cells. You will see currency. It's already a currency automatically. That's why currency is showing here. You can change your decimal places that, oh, you want 2 decimal places oh, you want 3 decimal places, or maybe you don't even want anyone. I don't think you're feeding allow. This is Nigeria. We don't spend kobo. We spend everything we spend is in naira. So right now I'm just going to take it to zero. Although you can leave it for accounting purposes, you can leave your zeros there, but I don't want it. Okay, so I've taken it to no decimal place. Then under symbols, now if you scroll down, you will find Nigeria. First of all, you first see things like naira. We have different naira sign. We have, I think, see them here. We have Edo, Fulani Nigeria, Hausa, Ibibio, Igbo, Kanuri, Yoruba, all with the naira symbol. So you can select any of these and it will be showing your naira symbol. Or you can keep scrolling, and then you find, I think it's NGR. Our money is shown as NGR if I'm not mistaken. NGR for Nigeria. You scroll and you will find it. Is it NGR or NGN? Oh, this is NGN. So if you don't want that naira symbol to show, you want this NGN to show, it's your choice. You pick it. However, I'm just going to go with the naira symbol. I think I preferred it. And I'm just going to pick anyone. Okay. So then the second thing I want you to take note of is negative numbers. In a situation where you're dealing with money and there's negative number that happens in terms of maybe loss or something, how do you want your negative numbers to show? This is where you pick it. Is it that you want the negative sign to be shown close to it, or you want the negative numbers to show in red, or do you want it to show with red and still have negative sign? Ideally, most people will just pick this one that is showing red. Okay, that's what many people will pick ideally. To just pick that and that's it. So I've formatted everything here, and you can see that automatically this is showing this. So permit me to pick at random. Let's say feeding allowance for Peter. Feeding allowance. Let's say Peter likes visiting the fast food joints, likes eating some roasted chicken, likes barbecue fish, likes spend lots of money. So every month, say Peter's money comes to rich kid. Omachi. Omachi is living inside school, and she spends a lot of money. She doesn't really spend much money like that. Umachi likes home cooked meals. She likes cooking for herself. In fact, her mom sends food to herself, and she doesn't even buy anything, but she has lots of provision and everything. She spends 5,000. I'm being partial. Claire. Claire likes to eat out. She likes to eat out. She likes her pizza. She likes a cup of ice cream. She likes visiting those exquisite places in GRA, Michael's Garden, and what's not. That's not what they sent her to do in school, but that's what she likes. So Killer is spending like say 60,000, and Prosper is like me. We'll do 101 and whatnot, but at least we still spend money. So let's say she's spending 12,000, and I'm just going to pick randomly now. And oh my god, I'm just going to copy and paste. I'm tired. Copy, paste. Is it complete? 7,000. And for transport, Peter rather spends his money on food than on transport. So he treks to school most times. Spends 2,000. Homachi is a baby girl. Though she doesn't spend on food, she spends on a lot of Uber. So he's using Uber and InDrive. And Claire spends a lot. She likes to eat out. She also likes to spend money. She doesn't want her skin to be beaten by the sun. And then Prosper just spent, let's say, 10,000. This is monthly transport I'm calculating, oh, please. And 8,000. And this person, oh my God, who is this person? It's like, no, this person has a private car that brings her to school, so she doesn't spend money. See, she also doesn't feed herself. That 3,000 is maybe sometimes she just feels like eating bubble gum or something in school. That's why she don't spend 3,000 at all. She doesn't spend much. And this person say 10,000 and 5,000. Oh my God, I wonder how people that do data entry jobs, how they fare. Okay. All right, so I have practically done this now, and here I'm going to do something. I'm going to write something called total. I'm going to write total here, and my total, I want it to be same font as this. I'll just copy and paste. What, did I not copy it properly? Copy and paste. All right, so that's good for total. Oh my word, I forgot that my here I also have merge. It merged it for me. I don't want it to merge. I only want the color. Okay, bold. So that's my total. All right, so in Excel there are different ways of doing total, right? One of the ways is by doing it manually, the way you write in your book, doing this plus this plus this plus this. All right, so and then news flash. For every function you want to use in Excel, you must start with an equals to sign. You know, in math, you do 5 plus 5 equals to 10. In Excel, you will do equals to 5 plus 5. So instead of your equals to come before your answer, your equals to comes before the problem in everything you do in Excel. Please note that. So you always start with your equals to sign, then you now select this plus this plus this. I'm going to stop here. Enter. It calculates. I didn't calculate everything, right? So that's one way, but nobody uses that. I'm just showing you how that can be done. You can also do equals to this plus everything here by selecting everything, and that will give you a spill because there's an issue with it. Or you do your equals to, there's something called sum in Excel, a function called sum. Now this sum adds all the numbers in a range of cells. So when I select sum, it automatically opens this for me. I think in 2003 and 2010, it doesn't open this, what do we call it now? It doesn't open this for you. You have to put it yourself. So I just select this and I'll close the brackets and click enter. And it has calculated it for me that the total amount of money that is spent in a month for feeding is 240,400. Now I want to do same for this. I will write the equals to sum, or remember I showed you the formula option, then you can also pick your auto sum from here. If I pick sum, I pick it already. If I pick the auto sum, when I pick auto sum, it automatically goes to that entire column and selects it. You see, I did not even have to drag myself. I did not have to do anything. All I just did was auto sum, and it has selected it for me, and I click on enter and it gives me that. So we spend more on food than transport. So that's basically sum. Now say I want to find the smallest amount that has been spent. I'll call it min. That's minimum amount for food what did we do? We did food, right? We did feeding. Please, Peter, help me check if there's anyone that has a question there. We have feeding allowance and we have transport.
Okay. There is no question. It's just Soluchi Great is saying she's from BMCT, not BMT.
Oh, MCT. Okay. That's you are claiming the allowance. MCT, no BS. Great, great. MCT. Okay,
BCT.
she wasn't here then, so I was just randomly picking. Okay, so I have this here, and
Sorry, BCT, not MCT. Sorry.
BCT. Okay,
Yes.
great. BCT. Now, see how fast it is. I can easily just change anything simply because I have all this here. It's now easy for me to just move and select and change. All right, there's something I want to do here. Okay, I want to do something here. I want to pick the, I want to even do total. Yeah. All right, so first of all, this part, I want to do data validation for it, for this part. So I'll go to data. I'm trying to make it simple for you to catch up, but I also want to do I want to touch a lot of things also. So, and this is what I want to use for it, this. Click. Okay. So from here I can click feeding allowance, and here I can click transport. I can change it. All right, so I'm looking for the minimum amount for feeding allowance or minimum amount for transport. So I will type equals to mean. Now, mean simply looks for the smallest. So I said mean, and it's asking me for where exactly. And I wanted to look for the minimum number here. So all I did was select and close my bracket. And close my bracket. Lord, when am I going to get close? Okay, close my bracket and click enter. So you see automatically that the minimum amount, or rather the smallest amount that was spent on feeding allowance is 3,000, while the maximum, and as you can already guess, maximum is simply max. I'll select the same thing again. Close my bracket and click on enter. While the highest is wow, the highest is 60,000. No wonder Claire was claiming it. You can do the same thing here, min and max, and you can also do total here. Let me leave that one, and well, let me come here. I want to do this now, conditional formatting. Before I run off with more functions, I want to do conditional formatting and explain what conditional formatting means. If, for example, I want to highlight the males on this list, only the males, I can do that. I select this, I don't select it, and then I'll come to conditional formatting. See it here, it's usually on your home tab. When you click on conditional formatting, there are different conditional formatting rules. Now, there are cell rules. For cell rules, you can pick for greater than, but that's for numbers, less than, or numbers between equals to. However, I'm looking for a text that contains something. I want a text that contains male. Now, any text that contains male, I want it to any text that contains male, I want it to be bold italic. I want the colors to be yellow. I think yellow is fine. Let's see how this looks. Why? Ctrl Z. I don't even know where my Z is. Ctrl Z. I'm going to change this keyboard for me. I don't like it. Text that contains. Oh, do you know why everything was practically being colored? I need someone to tell me why everything was practically being colored. You can unmute yourself if you figured it out, because it just came to me now why everything was practically being colored. When I said color mills for me to color everything. Anyone? Let me go back to my Excel so that you can see it. And I'll do it again. Remember when I did this and I said, I think it was all I even did, and I said conditional formatting, highlight, text that contains mail. I said mail, and it did this. Meanwhile, what I wanted was just M-A-L-E, M-A-L-E, M-A-L-E.
I think it's because you highlighted the whole column.
No. Okay, if you think it's because of that, let me do this.
Hello?
Yeah?
Okay, I think because both female and male have MALE in it.
Exactly. It's because both female and male
Okay.
has M-A-L-E. So when you are giving rules, you have to be careful with the kind of rules that you give. So let's do this now. Let's do FEMALE. See this time? Do you see now that I focused only on the females? The reason that happened was because male we had MALE. In female we have MALE. So basically, females are males with an extra FE. So that's what he did. All right. Now, if you want to take out that, which I want to take out, I don't like it, I will simply clear rules. Clear rules from selected cell, and it has gone back to normal. Okay. Now, for that one, you may want to apply it for money. Let's say I want to spotlight, or rather, these are all children of a particular parent. You all here are children of a particular parent. My parent is like, I don't know, the family finance is dwindling. We need to find out who is, overspending. And this comes out, and the father is like, excuse me, I don't have the strength, I don't have the energy, I can't be going through this thing. Can you just show me who? Okay, now show me who is spending more than 10,000 naira in a month. And we'll come here and do conditional formatting, and I will do greater than. Now we will pick 10,000. Okay. And at this point in time, you can see all the culprits that are spending more than 10,000 naira for feeding allowance every month. Because your parents are like, hello, we've given you all the food, we're giving you provision, we're giving you everything. Like, in fact, every week we have a delivery company that comes to deliver pizza and every of your guilty pleasures to you. Why are you still spending? Peter, why are you still spending 56,000? Who are you feeding? Where are you spending the money on? And then they have not finished talking to Peter. They saw Claire. Lord have mercy. And now they've seen all this. And out of 11 of you, they're seeing that only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are falling below that amount. Now, assuming a parent or someone that's in charge of this wants to give out want to give out goodies, we already know who is not getting and who is getting. We already know who might be pardoned and who is not going to be pardoned. You get it? So conditional formatting, you can actually do a lot with conditional formatting. You even have less than. Now, this is just a fun activity we're doing, but in real life data set, maybe that has to do with business, you have sales rep. You want to know which sales rep is not selling up to a certain amount. You do that. You want to know equals to a text that contains, or even date, if it's a date column, you want to see a date that occurred, maybe something happened, or yeah, maybe something happened and you're like, oh, I want to see the figures that came in between this day and this day. You can do all that here, even duplicate values. Then we have, let me clear the rules first so I can add another one. All right. Then we also have another one called the data bars. Now, if I use data bars, let me use data bars here. Data bars practically shows you at a glance the extent to which a figure um, is used, or any of this figure is spent practically. Um, Let me take it out because I keep adding. I don't want to add this. I'll just select this. I don't want to add. I don't want to be adding the total. I don't want to touch total. That's a different thing entirely. Okay, good. Now, why I took out total? Because it was taking total as my highest figure. Now it has picked Claire and Benedicta as my highest figure. You can see that Peter is a close one, and you can just see at a glance that, oh wow, these people are spending the most, this person is spending the least amount. So that's what conditional formatting does. And then there's even icon, like maybe you are doing some certain things and you decide what you want to use them for. Indication, what about indication? We do red flag, red flag. If he's not buying you Christmas clothes, red flag. If she's not pounding pounded yam and helping your mother wash her gate in the village, red flag. Yeah, you can do that here. You can put them here. And say this one helped wash plates. This one washed the clouds. This one swept the entire community. Red flag, green flag, and so many other things. I'm just trying to pick things to make it fun. All right, then we have transport. So practically, I've shown you conditional formatting. I've shown you merge and center. We've used wrap. We've used this format painter also. Okay. Um, yeah. Another thing I'm going to do, let me take this out. Maybe I'll just leave it there. It doesn't actually disturb us. Is turn this into a table. This is currently not a table. It's just we typing different things inside different cells. When you're working with Excel, it is advised, best practice is that you turn that data into a table. Now, not everything here has to be in the table. In fact, let me add inserts. Inserts. Good. Not everything here has to be in the table, right? So I would select all this and I'll press Ctrl T on my keyboard. When I press Ctrl T, it brings out this create table box for me and it asks me where is the data for your table. It has already been selected because I highlighted it before. If I had not done this, if I just say Ctrl T on its own, it asks me, and then I have to now come here and select it myself. See it, I have selected myself. It's the same thing. Okay, maybe I want to add all this to it. No, this one. It's the same thing, right? And you click OK. And the next thing is I want to tell it that my table already has headers because I have serial number, names, gender, department, feeding, and transport. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll click on this. My table has headers because if I do not, let me show you what will happen if I do not click on it. It will add its own header for me. So now I have column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In other words, it's saying, please edit all this and turn them into your headers. But I already have headers, so I don't want it to give me headers. I'm just going to select this and do Ctrl T again and say my table has headers. Now, the minute it's in a tabular form, the first thing you will notice is that it now has this tab here that you can click on, like the arrow drop down. Now with this, you can sort from largest to smallest, smallest to largest. See, it has brought 11 up. Like when you feel attendance or you feel something and they say the first shall become the last and the last shall become the first. You can do that here practically. You can also sort by color, assuming there's a color sort. All right. You can also sort by color. And I don't want any of this. So I will simply just sort it now. Back to the way it was before. Okay. Then we have names. This is sorting. We also have filtering. Let's assume I want to see only a certain set of people, or I want to see only a certain gender. I will click on female. I want to see only the female. And the minute I click on female, notice what happened. All the males left. It hid them. So filter will show you what you want to see and hide what you don't want to see. If I say I want to see only males, then only males we will see. We will not see the others. So I can clear filter. All right. For department too, you can decide, oh, I want to see only these two departments, and you're seeing them. Why? Okay. And you're seeing that it's even from this department that they are spending the most amount of money itself. Why? We don't know. And I've cleared it out. So now we can see everything practically again. Let me come here and take this conditional formatting out. Clear the rules and we're back to business. And we have this. Okay. Now, there's something called, we did sum already, so you know of sum. Count. Okay. Count. Control Z, 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 Z. Count. Count if. Count ifs. Sum. Sum if. And sum ifs. Okay. So I want our class to end by say 12:30, but before then I want to cover as much as I can. Or I'll try and cover as much as I can. Now count does what the name says, it just counts. Count if with if. Count only what you asked it to count. One rule, you've given it one rule. Count ifs is when I give it more than one rule for it to check for me. For example, let me what did I do that now? Cut, please. Paste. Oh yeah, there was something I did not show to you. Once I remember, I'll come back. When you create a table, notice what happens when I click here. Look at this place, it ends in Power Pivot, right? If I click on the table, now there's a table design there. That table design was supposed to change my name. It's showing as table 2, and let's just call it Excel. All right, let's call it Excel and leave it. And you see why it's always important for you to create a table. Like when I came here the other time and I was doing min max, I shouldn't even be doing that with when I have a table. All I should do is equals to min. Now remember, it's going to ask us, and I've already created this as a table, which is called Excel. So I do EX. You see my table is as shown, Excel. Click on Excel, and it's asking you, the next thing it wants now is what column in Excel. So here you put your squared bracket. I do not know where some of my things are. I'm looking for my squared brackets. Uh, uh, I don't even know where my squared bracket. I found it. But where did I find it? Oh, yeah, it's my U. So when you put your square bracket, please, your square bracket. Pardon me, I changed my keyboard, but I think I may have to take it back. I don't understand. The keys are all scattered. Now, when you put your square bracket, it automatically shows you all the column names you have. Can you now see the column names we have under the Excel? And for this, I want feeding allowance. So I just click on feeding allowance, close my bracket, and close this and say enter. And it's giving us the same amount. So when you have your data stored in a table, you don't have to come back here and be doing all this selecting we do. No, 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 we don't do that. Okay, we don't ever do that. You can work anywhere on this sheet. As long as you know the name of your table, you can work anywhere on it. And saying that, now we're going to go on and do sum if, and sum ifs. We already did sum here, so I might as well take my sum out. Right? Now, sum if, and okay, let me count first. Count. And why I love Excel is because most of the times the name of the function is does what exactly it says it's going to do. So count the number of cells in. So if I do this and I say count Excel for me, and count names, I just go to the names and count for me. It says none. It says, oh, there's nothing to count there. I didn't see anything to count. Now let's change this one and say, okay, count SN for me. Was it SN? Yeah, it was SN. And enter. It counted 11. Because practically wanted to just count something that has number, no names. But irrespective of that, let's come to count if. I want it to count only the females for me. I want it to count only the females for me. So I would come here and say equals to count. But this time I will not just say count, I will say count if. See, count if counts the number of cells within a range that meets the given condition. Condition singular, just one. And another reason I said you shouldn't bother cramming is because when you click on this now, it's going to tell you what you need. It says range and then it says criteria, and I cannot do anything about that because I have not even written what I want. Here, I want to do data validation here too. So I want to put data validation. Of list. I like data validation a lot because I don't want to be typing. Okay, so I can change this column now to male, to female, or to other. Then here I want to do data validation of department because I'm going to use it. Hey, so I have this and I have this. All right, so I'll take out the S. I added the S because I already started with equals to, and I told you in Excel you want to do any function is the equals to you start. So it says where is the range? What are we doing? And here I'm going to say I want you to count for Excel for me. Count the gender for me, comma. See, it has selected gender. Now it has moved. You say, what is the criteria you want me to count with? And I'll just select where I have this here and close and say, okay. All right, let's see if this is going to work. So there are 8 females and there are 3 males, and there's 0 other. Nobody's using other. Okay, I want to do the same thing here, but I want to do it for department. So I will do equals to count if. See what I'm doing now? I don't even have to scroll up again because our table is called Excel. I can go everywhere with it. Now I'm not picking gender, I want department. So I'll click on department, close, 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 put a comma, and I'll select where I have this and just close it and say this is going to give me an error. Okay, and I'll say enter. Now let's change and see. We have 1 BMT, we have 5 MCT, 4 BCT, and 1 PPT. So you see how that works, right? That's how that works. Now I want it to count with 2 criteria here for me now. The first criteria will be gender, and the second criteria will be department. So again, equals to count, but this time I'll pick ifs. And it says, oh, what is the criteria range? Now criteria range, I just want it to go to the entire Excel and count for me. I said Excel. Okay, so I picked Excel, and the first criteria range I want it to count with for me is this, and the second criteria range I want it to count for me is this. And I think I am done. Uh-oh, I've made a mistake. Okay, I've given it. So my first criteria is other. All right, so comma, something is not right. I did not do something. I did not do this. Gender. Aha. What is, okay, comma, and this is my first criteria, comma. Now I want it to go back to that table. Go back to Excel, but this time go to department and look for PPT. Okay, I think I've gotten this, comma. All right, let's see. All right, so we are going to test that now. All the males. So you see, we have 1 male in PPT. We have no female in PPT. We have no other in PPT. Now let's do male, and let me change this. In BMT, we have 1 male. In MCT, we have 1 male. How did I distribute it? But in BCT, we have no male. Now let's test and see. Let's check BCT. Female, BCT, female, BCT, female, BCT, female. So the 4 BCT we have, there's no female. Are you saying it? So that's how this one works for the count if and the count ifs. So the count if will count using 1 criteria Oh, Claire says our network is poor. So sorry about that. See, do I have space? Oh, Claire, your network is terrible. I can see it here. It's showing you, but it's showing that you're not even connected. Let me add others, and then we can continue. If at any point in time you want to drag my attention back to something, please let me know. And yeah, so I'm going back now. So that was the count and count if does. Same thing for sum, for the sum and sum if. I want to sum um, if. I want to know who is spending more as a total. So let's say equals to sum if. You will still see the sum if there. Now, equals to sum if, pick Excel because that's your range. Is someone talking to me? The criteria, let's use this. And where is that going to come from? Uh, go to Excel and go to feeding allowance. Did I pick this at all? Excel criteria. Hmm. Oh, no, this key. Okay, should work now. What is it? What did I do? Yes, my data equals to this keyboard. I need to return you. I can't work with this one. Comma. I want this to be my criteria, comma, and my sum range is Excel sum feeding and close. Why isn't it changing? Excel blah, 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 equals to sum if. So that's the thing with Excel. Do not cram it. Just my range. Comma. Order. Comma. This is the same exact thing. So why is that here? Hmm. Excel. Hmm. Feeding allowance, comma. Sum range, that's it. Criteria range. Oh, hold up. I see my mistake now. Equals to, I'm going back, equals to sum if, and I would explain my mistake when I'm done. Range. I was giving it the entire table as a range, and I was telling it to go and look for gender for me, when I should have just given it gender. I think this was it. Comma, and then Excel. This should work now. This should work. That should. Aha. Now it worked. But I've done something. I've gone to fill it where I shouldn't fill it. So let me do it here. Now it has worked. Ah, Lord. Equals to sum if. So let's go again. I'm going to do it now. Figured out my mistake. My mistake was I did not tell it where to go look for gender. I was just giving it the table. Otherwise, the syntax was correct. So it's equals to sum if. Then it's asking you for the range, and I want it to go look for into the gender. I want it to look at the gender. And when you look at the gender, check that the person is either an order, a male or a female, and then add from the feeding allowance. And close this and say enter. So when I change this now to male, it will calculate. You can see that this is males have spent 69,700, females have spent 170,700. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, now sum ifs is going to be faster. Now for sum ifs, I want it to add using two things. Now see what, now you understand why I did this data validation here in the first time. I don't want to be typing male, female every time I want to change something. So all I have to do is just change from here. I'm going to be referencing this cell. Now this referencing I'm doing where I select this part is called relative referencing in Excel. It is called relative referencing in Excel. Are we supposed to be having another Excel class again? Okay, Harmony, that's fine. Is anyone still here or you've all left? Please unmute yourself and say something. Are we supposed to be having
We are
another
still
Excel class?
here.
Okay.
Not that I
I'm not
know.
sure. I'm
Yes,
not
ma,
sure we are
please.
supposed to have another. But it
Maybe
depends on.
you can arrange with them or talk to them, because I don't know. All right, but
Yeah, I
let's
don't
see
think
how far I
one
can go. The
class
class is
is
supposed to
enough.
have.
Like,
You said?
yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't think one class is enough to cover
No, one
much
class not enough.
about.
2 classes are not even enough. But at least I want you to see like all the fantastic things we can do. Practically what we've covered here is not even one class item. I'm just trying to, push it, but I don't want it to be overwhelming. You get it? I don't want it to be overwhelming. I would like another class where we can practicalize this on the charts. So for some ifs, we have equals to, I will show you what we've done today so that you would see how much you've done. Now for sum range, for the sum range here, I want you to still calculate. I'm just using feeding allowance, and like I promised, I will be sending the what's it called, the link to this class so you can see it. So I have criteria range 1. The first criteria I want to use is gender. So I'm going back to my table. Now you see why the table is helping me. Otherwise, I'll be coming here and down, going up and down. But I don't need to do that since I've turned it into a table. So I want gender first. I want it to use gender as the first one. And then it asks me for the criteria. So I'll select where I have gender here, and I'll put a comma. You see, it simply just keeps. So this keeps me in check to exactly what I'm expected to give to them. Now it's asking me for the second criteria range. And the second criteria range I'm going to use is your department. And then it's asking me for the second criteria, which is what I've put here. So I close this and I say, okay, enter. All right. So I want it to add only the males in BCT. But if you notice, the male, there's no male in BCT. So that's like 0. So it's not adding anything. Let me change and say females in BCT. See, now we have something. 4 females, and it has, if you bring a calculator here now and I decide to do department by, say, BCT only. If someone should calculate this with their phone, what you will have will be exactly this, 33,700. So you see, Excel is very, very functional, very, very functional. Now, we did the tabs, all the tabs, what you've done today, and you've learned Format Painter, you've learned Merge, you've learned what's this one called? Wrap, data validation. You've learned conditional formatting. You've learned the sum if, sum ifs, count if. Are you seeing the things you've learned? You've actually learned a lot today. You've learned count ifs, and what else? Oh, we've done um, formatting of data type 2. You've done formatting of data type. I'm trying to remember any other thing you've done. I will put it there. So you see, you've learned a lot. Oh yeah, you also learned the views. Like how to take out all these rows and columns and how to hide your. So you have actually learned a lot. I think someone just joined in again, or maybe someone left. So let's see. Let me go over to myself, trying to see which other thing I can. Just in case there's no other class, I want to see if I can add like 20 minutes extra. And oh yeah, you've done tables, making tables. Now you can make tables out of cells you're giving. So you've not done badly for yourself at all, I tell you that. Let me cut all this and put it in another sheet. Is it not funny that we left sheet 1 to go and work in shift 3? Not bad. So let's see what else I can add. Okay, yeah, I think I can take you to Pivot. All right, so we are practically going to make some charts using this. Yes, just in case there's no class. I want you to be able to use and start and finish whatever you've done. Um, so we have minus 2, just so you know. We have average. We did sum, right? We did sum. Like if I want the average of this entire cell, all I'll just do, I put equals to AV. You see it here, average. And average also have if and ifs also, same as sum, if and ifs. Like if you want to give it condition before you calculate the average. Now for the average, I say I want the average of the transport I was spent for the month, and just do this. I just want, because the data is small, that's why I selected. Otherwise, remember, I would not do that. I would just select, and this is my average. It's 18,600 and this. So you can actually do a lot of small calculations like that in Excel. Now moving on, and so we can do charts, and you can see this picture. You want to show this to your let's say you are all children of the same parents, and you want to show this to your dad or your mom on how money has been spent, who has spent the most, who has spent the least, and everything. This doesn't really look as interesting as this looks. It will be interesting only because right now you know Excel. Yes, you know Excel. Up today, you can never say you don't know Excel. You know a lot about Excel right now. And this is just numbers and types and cells and rows. It's confusing. So one of the first things you can do is make pivot table. It's a pivot table. Now, this is the what pivot table does. It easily arrange and summarize complex data in a pivot table. FYI means for your information, you can double click a value to see which detailed values make up the summarized total. So I'll click this and I say from table range. Now it has selected our Excel table, and I want it to use an existing worksheet. It's already have 1, 2, 3 sheets. So I don't want to open a new worksheet. So I'll say existing worksheet, and then it asks me for location. So I'll click on this, click on sheet 2, and simply just say maybe I want it here. And I say okay. Now these are the pivot feeds. You see all the columns we had there, it has brought them here. So anything you want, you simply click on it and you can see it. Right? You see names, you can see gender. We have only 2 gender, we have 4 departments. That's a total amount of the feeding allowance. And you see it automatically adds your feeding allowance in values. If you're using 2003 and 2010, I think you have to drag it yourself, like hold and drag yourself here. I think that's how that one works. But for some of these new versions, you don't. All you have to do is select, and it automatically puts them for you. So what we were doing the other time when we were doing ifs, some ifs, I can do it here without that. All I have to do is select gender, select department, and select feeding allowance. So it has, I can collapse this, and I can collapse this. Was this not the same thing we saw the other time? Let's go back there. Under the sum ifs that we did. This is sum if female. You see 170,700. It's not the same thing you're seeing here. And if I do male, don't bother looking at this one. This one is sum ifs. Look at this one, 69,700. You see, it's done. But I just wanted to introduce you to those formulas because it's very important you know them. And if you need to know as per females and department, you see them here. You can see them here, how it's broken down. So let's now say we want, I don't want gender, or we can do department and this. Let's say department and this. Okay. Now this one, with this department, I can now insert charts. You can either add your own chart or you can check recommended charts. If you click on recommended charts, Excel will bring out some charts it thinks you should use. So it's showing you that, oh, your best chart for this is a column chart. This is a column chart. So if I click on OK, see what's going to happen. Excel adds it. Hold on, let me create another sheet and call this visual. V is for visual. V is for visuals. Then I'll come here to, I'll call this pivot. Yeah. So rename, just double click on it and it's automatically renames. And this is my data. So now I know exactly where I'm going to anytime I'm going. So for my pivot, I will do this. Click on cut, come to where you have these and paste it. When you see dashboards done using Excel, this is how dashboards on Excel are done. This is it. So, and we still have some time. So we actually, I think I can even end your class today. That's fine. So you see, I've done this now. So this is practically sum of feeding allowance, and it can be edited. Like if I want to change this, you change it. This is just showing you where it was gotten from. It is feeding allowance by department. This is total. You can change this. You can say feeding allowance by department. So you see, and when you change this, you can even come here and select where you want it. You can move this one first of all. You can change the color. You can make it bold. You can change font. Same thing you've been doing before. And these two, you can even take it out. You can say hide it. And this one, hide it. And not only that, let me move this up. You can also change the charts. You can change the style. You see, there are different styles. You can change all the styles. You can change them. You see them? You can change them by department. Come back to pivot. I'm going to copy this. Copy. And I'm going to paste it here. Paste. Now, when I click on this, I am going to change this one now. I'm going to say, let it be gender. See, I copied and pasted is gender. Now, since it's just gender, and I want to compare two items, one of the best charts you can use for comparing two items like this is a bar chart. You can use a pie chart rather than use a bar chart, a pie chart or a donut chart. Okay, this is what a donut chart looks like. This is a bar chart and this is a donut chart. And you can also change it depending on what you want. Do you want to see, this is in percentage? All right. So I like this percentage one. You see now that the percentage, from the percentage, and you even have keys here. You even have keys here. The orange color is for male and the blue is for female. You can see that this total again, you can change it to feeding by gender. Again, right click here and hide value button on chart. And I just do this, cut, I come here and I paste. You see how it's beginning to look like? It's beginning to look like a proper dashboard. This is what they call a dashboard. Even though there are other, you can edit it and make it fancy and whatnot. We're already doing it here. And if you want to do other things, maybe you want to compare how they are spending as compared to, see what I'm doing? Instead of creating pivot, I'm just selecting this one, copy, paste. Then I will now edit this one. Let's say for this one, I want to add transport like this. And I want to see how they are spending. Oh, it has even given you a column chart, and it's fine. I like this one also. Cuts, come to these, and paste. Now you can edit, you can drag to make smaller. You can see you can do all the things we've been doing. So that's how you make, and this is just a simple data that we collected or we made up ourselves today. There's so much that you can do from it. If, as small as this table, there's so many things you can do from it. So many things that you can do from it. If you want the person that spends the most and person that spends the highest. Now let's come back here to our V's. Like if you check on YouTube, you see videos on it, but you have more than the basic foundation right now. Because let me add to our sheet. Practically, I've introduced you now to pivot tables, pivot charts, and one final thing I am going to do before I call it a day is slicers. I'm going to introduce you to slicers. Now, for slicers, what slicers do is what slicers do, where is it? Pivot analyze. This is slicer item. So you use a slicer to filter. You know, when we had this our data here, all we do is come here and we decide what we want to see. Oh, I want to see only male, I want to see only female. Oh, I want to see only this, I want to see only that. You can actually do that here using what they call the slicer. So to get the slicer, this one should hide. To get the slicer, click on any of your charts that you've already created. Click on pivot chart analyze. The tab will come. If I click out, it's no longer there. If I click on it, it comes. Then click on slicer. I'm going to add two different slicers, but for now, let me add gender and so let me add just gender and department. Let me add gender and department sake. Okay. Now see, there are two different slicers. And no, you don't have to be a data analyst like myself to use this. You can use it for a lot of things, a whole lot of things. Even in your department, you can start taking data from things happening in your department, and putting it in people's face. And like, oh, like yesterday, for example, I was thinking, I just lose my hair, and that's why I'm not even on video. And I'm thinking, oh, what should I make my hair? I have two hairstyles that I actually like. And I was like, you know what, let me use WhatsApp. I pasted the pictures that I got. It's a very girly thing to do, right? But practically, I'm a data analyst and I'm upskilling to be a data science. And I should be able to get data from anywhere and at source from anywhere. And I wrote there, I said, please, just engage me, because I know the men that will see it will be like, "Oh, this is a woman issue, it does not concern me." And I said, please, I'm going to use it for my data analysis. I'm going to upload two pictures. Pick one, the one you think the hairstyle is going to suit me, just pick. And I uploaded the pictures and I left it. At the end of yesterday, I noticed that so many people engaged with it, probably because of the first message I sent before I uploaded the picture. It did not make them now say, oh, it doesn't concern me now. I'm not a woman. Why should I be selecting her for a random female out there that is just on my WhatsApp list? Shocking to say, 100% of the men, and the men commented more, which even tells me something else. That you men, you actually have choice when it comes to hairstyles and all those things. People just act like, well, it doesn't concern you. It concerns you. You like it. Because more men comment. If for every woman that commented, there were like 5 men on my WhatsApp that made a choice. And while for the women, I had some picking this hairstyle and the others picking the second one. Every single male that made a choice that yesterday picked only one picture. I kid you not. Every single male picked the same picture, no difference, nothing. Not even one of them selected the second picture. It was as if, and these people are not from the same place, they don't know each other, different tribes, different religion, different occupation, different age group, and they all just zoomed. So that has given me further for my analysis, and I'm like, oh wow. So it means men like a certain hairstyle and a certain look. Unlike women, we like a lot of things. You get it. When it comes to things like fashion and that, we make a lot of choices. So while you are thinking, where do I need this thing I'm learning? You need it. Data analysis is everywhere. You're practically analyzing data every day. The minute you bring out money from your pocket and you're thinking, what should I use this money to do? What is most important to me? Or you start thinking, maybe when you had money at the start of the month and you are going broke, and you start thinking of all the life choices you made while you had small money in your hand, how you would have, I could have trekked this distance, but I decided to take Uber, or I could have eaten at home, I decided to eat out. All the life choices you've made and everything, you are practically analyzing. And when you're analyzing, what you're analyzing is data. So yeah. Now with this department filter, I would come here and right click quickly. Remember how I brought my field? When you watch the video, you would see it again. Right click here, and you see something called report connection. So click on report connection and select all the tables, or rather all the charts you see there. You're doing that so that all the charts are connected. Then you click OK. Come, let me put this. Let me put this here and put this. Hold on. I think I can to reduce. Okay. And put this here. Move this here. And move this here. Then I'll do the same for gender. Right click, report connection, and simply do this. All right. Now watch what's going to happen. When I click on female, see what happens. Everything changes. And not just that. Please forgive me that I did not edit this. It's fine. Time is going. Right? BMT and PPT are taken out of the equation immediately because PPT department has no female and BMT has no female. I mean on our data, not in real life, right? If I click on male, it changes. Now we have males from these three departments, but BCT, remember BCT has just 4 female. They have no male. And my chart has changed. Now let's say if I want to clear this out, all I do is clear filter by clicking on that and it goes back to normal. If I click on this department, see what happens. If I click on 2 departments, and I can click on 2 departments by holding down my shift key and selecting. Now see how it goes. BMT spends a lot of money as compared to BCT. Now, blue is feeding and the orange is transport. But if you check BCT, the difference between their feeding and transport is not as wide as BMT. BMT can eat and they don't spend a lot on transport. Now, if I clear this, you have even more visual. Remember in the beginning, I brought you to view and I took out grid lines. Oh yeah, see, it looks plain now. And you see these charts, you can edit them, you can change their colors and whatnot, right? So anything you want, it's really, really possible with Excel, okay? So what I will do is I'll find a way to, let me close this down. I will send the link to Mr. Caro as well as that sheet. I'll send it to Mr. Caro. Now, what I want you to do is I need you to go further, watch videos. You have videos on YouTube or whatnot. Watch videos. Get my number if need be, and If you have any, you need any help, get across to me. If you want to get into the field of data analysis or data science, that's where my expertise lay in. That's where I'm focusing on building my castle on right now. Reach out to me and stuff, and we will go through it together. So that's it. Did you understand the class? I'd like to get feedback from you, please. So everyone here is in the front end, so please unmute yourself. I'll stop sharing now. And I just want to get feedback from you. So Peter, Solushi, and Archie.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma, for your time and the explanation. I cannot say that I understand everything 100%. I know that there's some things that I'll have to go back and look on, but on a general outlook, yes, I understand most of the things. Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Ma. I think I understood most of the things. Maybe just to go back on it and do a kind of practice on it to get it more sticked. And I don't know if it's okay by you to drop your number on the chat
Okay.
so that we can have it, so we can easily reach out to you. For, thank you.
I'm doing that now. And my social media handles, if you are on LinkedIn or Twitter, still the same, I think. That's my name. I think that one should get you in. That's it. I have. I've dropped it.
Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome. So, what about Soluchi and Prosper? Oh, Prosper has spoken. Soluchi.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. I understood to an extent. I'll try practicing it so I to get to stick better
Yeah,
because it's more of a practical thing than just
in
watching
theory,
it.
yeah, it's practical. So, which is why
So
that's why I streamed it here. So I would send the link, and you can go over and over and watch it as many times as you want.
okay,
So,
thank you
Ma,
very
I
much.
wanted to ask. I wanted to ask. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you talked about Excel as one of the limitation is working with big data. Aside from that,